Are you a professional pillow fighter? Or a 9-to-5 low-cost time travel agent? Or maybe real estate sales on Mars is your profession? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you do, however complex or intricate, Monday.com can help you organize, orchestrate, and make it more efficient. Monday.com is the one centralized platform for everything work-related. And with Monday.com, work is just easier. Monday.com, for whatever you run. Go to Monday.com to learn more.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
Hey, boss, how's it going?
I got this Third Love bra.
They sent me one, too, to be able to try it out. And you know how, like, I don't know if I'm going to, keep my chesticles or not. But...
Oh, God. Does it always have to go there?
Until I make that decision...
No, but no one cares about it. They care about me who wears...
Third Love bros, I'm not joking. They don't make my boobs stand out in T-shirts. It's not like this is the main feature, of my midsection, which a lot of bras can because of the line.
Well, here's the other thing. It's made out of memory foam. All right, no one cares about you. They only care about me wearing my bra. I'm just saying, as a woman who wears a bra, it's really comfortable. It's airy. It doesn't, you don't sweat. You don't feel like, you have to stick your hand underneath it. It's amazing. You can try one. Since it's getting warm, and no one ever believes people when they say, oh, I have the best bra, They are now, Third Love is giving you a free T-shirt bra for 30 days. You can start a free trial right now. You go to thirdlove.com/killme. And thirdlove.com/killme. And I'm telling you, it is the most comfortable bra I've ever owned.
Raising the mics a little. Oh, cool. Beautiful.
I'm still annoyed with you.
I'm annoyed with you too.
Why? What did I do? Anyway.
Should I be annoyed with both of you?
Yes.
Okay.
You can be. No, just with Lauren.
Because
just with me.
It's easy.
Okay.
It's my fault.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is, I'm going to say, the ultimate Kill Me Now show.
Yeah, it's pretty
because the entire, it's so fucked up, I can't even fucking tell you. We have an incredible guest here today. But, my iCloud is not syncing, and my schedules didn't sync, and I'm at the doctor at physical therapy, and someone calls from 310, which I ignore, because I always think it's someone in L.A.,
being all douchey.
Yeah, no, or just can you do my blah, blah, blah? Just leave a message. All right, anyway. So, and then I get a text. Neil is on his way. He'll be there in a few minutes. I'm like, what the fuck? And I realized they're doing a documentary on Gilbert Gottfried, and apparently I told them I was available today. But my calendars don't fucking sync. So I'm leaving the PT to come here, and I find this out, and now and then I called our guest for later, and he was like, go fuck yourself. And I was like, you know what? I should go fuck myself. And I called the documentary people. I was like, I'm not fucking these people over. Anyway, so here we are with Lecy Goranson.
What's up?
Lecy Goranson from Roseanne, and from Roseanne, and from Roseanne. Now, we've met before.
We
in
have.
1990.
You're fucking kidding me.
No.
You don't remember?
You don't remember that I did an episode of fucking Roseanne?
That I was on? Or
Yes.
was it my replacement?
No, 90.
I mean, Sarah.
I don't think
were
anyone
on the show. Okay. Who did
it
you
was
play?
during the Tom Arnold
years.
period.
Okay.
There was no stress at all on the set.
See,
It was
and
so
again, I'm
easygoing.
gonna have to call my therapist after this, just by
Okay.
you mentioning that.
Okay.
We'll be your therapist today.
That's frightening.
I mean, that was crazoid. Anyway, it was
Wow.
1990.
That's in the thick of it.
No, I think it was 91. My father died in 90. Yeah, and so it was like January, February. And what's his name was Tiny.
Michael.
Yeah. And it was a Valentine's Day show. I worked at the Big and Tall women's lingerie shop. Yes.
No. Oh my God.
And I remember going on the set and seeing the sofa. And that was my first time doing a TV show in LA, you know.
word.
And, I was
And
like,
that
oh my God,
sofa's in the
there's-
Smithsonian now.
I
No, it
believe
isn't.
it.
Yeah, it is.
I believe it.
But it was so,
Was it like the time when it was just toxic?
Yes,
Or it's like
it was
super toxic.
it was super toxic. It was all about him,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
and, you know, she was obviously just letting herself be controlled by him.
Oh, and like as a teenager who
Right.
was like into punk rock music
Right.
and like feminist hardcore and seeing my mom, who's like this powerful goddess figure
Right.
to me, having him swoop in and
Right.
just like mind meld her basically and like keep slipping roofies in her drinks and shit. Do you know how the rage in me at the time? Like
I can't even
just,
imagine.
Like Doc Martin should have been spiked at the time. Or they should, you know.
Oh, I had
It should
Doc
have been
Martens then,
even
yeah.
more
But, all right.
awful.
So, but you grew up outside of Chicago, right?
Evanston, yep.
And then what was the audition like? How did this all come about?
Well, I was studying at Piven Theater Workshop, which is
Right.
Jeremy Piven's parents' place. They did
Right.
like Spolin work, and they
Yeah.
were original Second City members.
Right.
Nice.
And they created their own theater company in Evanston, which was like right down the street from me. And I used to dance, and my dance thing was right down the hall from Piven Theater Workshop.
Right. Is Jeremy from?
Evanston.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and like John Cusack was
Right.
the Cusacks, and Jeremy
Right.
and Lily Taylor studied there and
Wow.
whatever. Yeah, it was like a pretty cool
Yeah.
crew. But so that was what I was exposed to, and I just immediately was just turned on by, because I was such a hyperactive, spastic child that I needed that filter
Of course.
to explode.
express yourself,
I felt like I
yeah.
was just explosive.
Right.
And they were affiliated with an agency in Chicago, and the agency was holding open auditions, and Carsey Warner, being Carsey Warner,
Right.
wanted a really authentic Chicago feel to the show.
Right.
So they got Laurie Metcalf.
Oh,
they got
By the way, she was lovely to me.
Laurie.
Yeah.
she is the best.
I mean,
seems
that
like
was
the best.
she was, yeah, she was the classiest, most professional. She was great.
Great actor,
and
too.
She's amazing.
I just saw her because she was doing Misery on Broadway,
Yeah.
Oh,
and I
my-
saw her.
That's the story of my life. Did you know that that's my autobiography?
Misery.
Oh, which character are you?
All of them. Go.
Oh,
It's about Judy Gold, Misery.
but
Go.
she was still. I mean, she is the most unaffected human being,
And
the
so
most talented,
talented. Yeah.
and the most talented.
You owe me a Coke. We said talented at the same time.
After Laurie Metcalf are the only one.
So that's, I mean, I was, how old was I? 27. I had that was what I picked up. I was like, this is a shitstorm, and Laurie Metcalf is the most incredible actor and person.
She's
Indeed.
amazing.
Okay, so you leave.
So I do
Wait,
the audition. I
right.
do the audition, which is on tape, and it's like my second
Which
audition.
is so unusual for that time to go on tape.
right.
You know?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I,
But
really
life
didn't.
is about faking it.
Right.
But yeah.
That's basically acting.
Right.
But so then the tape went away, and so did my thoughts about that. And then I was at home with
How
my
much
family.
later?
This was probably maybe like a week later.
Uh-huh.
And I'm eating Chinese food, and I
What were you
open
eating?
up. At the time, it was probably, I'm a vegetarian 25 years, but at the time, it was probably some kind of fried rice.
Okay.
Is what
I love fried rice. Did you put hot sauce in it?
I think the hot mustard.
Oh,
and
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Yeah, combo. and sweet and sour.
Yeah.
And then I opened up my fortune cookie and it said, "You will be graced by the presence of stardom."
Nice.
And I went,
No way.
"Yeah."
And that was the real one?
And I went, and then the phone.
Wait, do it again. What'd you do?
And then the phone rang, like literally, I read it to my family and laughed. And the phone rang.
And this is pre-cell phones.
This is a landline.
Landline.
Hi, this is like the agency.
Jewy Jew agency.
Yeah. They want Lecy to fly to LA to do a final audition.
To test for the part, yeah.
Well, right.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? You know, because I wasn't.
What is the name of that Chinese restaurant?
Sing Sao.
I need to go to Evanston, Illinois.
But I don't think it's open anymore. Fuck! Like many things.
You're
like so
screwed.
many great things.
I want to. All right, go ahead.
So I'm like, great, free trip to California with my mom. Sweet. That's
Right.
where I was at. Not, I gotta get this role.
I really need
I
this
was
job.
like, tomorrow, I love ya. So,
A chorus line and Annie.
Yeah.
so I was like, peace out, school, for a couple days. Went out there. They put us up in like the Judy Garland or whatever, Beverly Garland, whatever
Yeah.
hotel,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yes.
Which is by Universal Studios.
Yes.
And I love
Right at the
Universal
top of the
Studios.
hill, yeah.
And so it was in Universal Studios.
Right.
I was in Universal Studios.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
when you go to LA for the first time. I don't care how old you are. It's like, oh wow,
It is
and then
like,
you're there for a while.
Yeah, it depends on what part
and
of
then you're
LA.
like-
Get me out of here. Yeah. All right.
That's my story of my life.
I'm
Right.
sorry. I tried to.
No, so I'm there, and then there's all these chicks who are brunettes who are going out for the role.
Mm-hmm.
And one, they're all coming up to me, and there's, how when actors study, they're studying. It's so important.
Oh my god.
And they're
I know.
it's just so
so
critical.
intense. And yes,
All their lips
And
are
I was
moving.
like looking around, going, "Look, Mom,
Yeah.
look, that's where the Psycho House
Right.
is." And my mom's like, "Don't you want to look over your sides?" And
That's
I was
what
like,
I do at my audition. I stare at them because they're so fascinating that they have no fourth wall. It's like
or the
Yeah.
ones that say it out loud. It's like,
Right.
who are you talking
I
to?
know. Shut the fuck
yourself.
up.
Well, that's
You're
because
talking to yourself. Like,
right,
yeah,
right.
exactly. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, are these bitches gonna explode?
right.
Literally.
I mean, it's like
because it's like this isn't like ER.
right.
You know what I mean? It's an audition. I know it's
So,
scary. Okay.
Your mother said, "Look at your
So
side."
and then these
Wait, we need to go back one
Okay,
second.
yeah.
Did you throw out the fortune?
never.
Okay.
I still have it.
Okay.
awesome.
All right, go. So your mother's like, Lecy.
So
can
she's
you-
like, Lecy, we're here for a reason, not just for you to like be a tourist in LA for a couple days. And I was like, whatever. But she wasn't pushy about it.
yeah,
she was like,
wasn't
"Do
like,
it."
gypsy, Mama
Right.
Rose.
Exactly.
Sing out, Louise. Go ahead.
Right. And so all these young chicks were brunettes, and they kept one by one coming up to me and kind of trying to razz me, like
Right.
intimidate me about the
Right.
role. Like
Word.
one would say, "Do you know I'm an opera singer and I've been a professional?" And I'm like, "Oh, really? I play intramural soccer at home, you know?" And like,
But they wanted real. They wanted real.
right. And then they did the whole hair card. They played the hair card.
Right.
Have you ever seen a photo of Roseanne? I'm like, no, I have no idea who she is. I have no idea. And they were like, she's a brunette.
Oh God, these people. Where are they now?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
They're fucking
They're
drinking
they're
martinis
listening
and
to the
taking
show.
antidepressants.
But the funny thing is that I just didn't give a shit.
right?
I could
That's
give
the
a
best
shit.
way to go into anything is not knowing. Is not knowing that you should care or that you do care or that any sort of fear or desperation, you're done. Or
competition.
Yeah, or
I mean,
need
it's
to-
like
yeah.
if you are that stiff
right.
with stuff like that, then you're gonna have a big problem coming up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
people definitely sense that.
All right. So they're all. How many were in there for the test?
So there was 12.
Wow, that's a lot. And then they narrowed it down
Well,
to.
it wasn't quite the test because we were at Universal Studios auditioning. So I go in the room, and this thing that resembles a female walks in,
right.
like this creature,
Right.
no makeup, sweatpants, kind of disheveled hair. And she's like, hi. And I was like, oh my.
That's her.
Oh my.
Right.
And so we did our scene, and then they wanted me.
Did you like her? Or were you afraid? Or were you like, what the fuck,
Well, look, I got to tell you, I was living in Evanston, Illinois, by Northwestern University, okay? This is not Hollywood.
Right.
I watched TV a lot.
Right.
But I thought it was going to be like Meredith Baxter Birney.
Right.
So it definitely was
Mary
not.
Tyler Moore,
It definitely was neither of those.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
And so I was like, whoa, this is a new kind of thing going on. And then they asked me to kind of spar with her verbally. And so I did. And
like,
I was
what'd
just,
you say?
Like improv. I don't remember what I said, but, it's kind of like, Mom, no, I'm not doing that. Just like real attitude and just like in her face.
Right.
And she was like, yeah, like that was her thing. She was like,
right.
So then they said, Lecy, stay, everyone else go.
Nice.
Did you go, did you play with your hair? And did you go
I
out
was
there and be like,
Roseanne didn't mind that.
Roseanne gets recessive genes.
I was like, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Brownie.
So you stay.
So then I stay, and then I audition with all the Darlenes and all the DJs.
Right.
Whoa.
And that was interesting.
12 of each or less?
I'd say around that. And when Sarah Gilbert walked in the room, it was like a zero-brainer.
Right.
It was like, oh, she's the one.
Right.
It wasn't like, she was good. It was like, no, everyone else sucks.
Right.
She was good.
Well, you both are so ballsy as actors.
We were the same age.
Right.
Yeah. And so, but we got into it. She wanted us to get into it. And it was like very smart.
Right.
Like fighting and like very, very womanly fighting or girly.
Sure.
Right.
And you could see a history there between you two.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
all the, well, it wasn't Michael because they replaced.
Right.
It was this guy, Sal Barone, who was cast in the pilot.
Right.
So then they said, okay, now we're going to network the same day.
Right. They do it. Yeah.
And so we drive over, and I remember driving to, I guess it was maybe ABC headquarters. And going through
yes.
and all the palm trees, and it was just like this surreal thing. That's really what I was focusing on, not that I was about to get a job.
Right.
So then we go in, do our little spiel, sit in the waiting room, and then they came out and they're like, you guys got it. And Sarah and Sal just started jumping, leaping in the air and screaming, yes, yes. And I was just staring at my mom, completely frozen. Mm-hmm. And I was we just were looking at each other, and I was like, I have a life.
Right.
I was like, I kind of have a crew.
Right.
Oh, man.
Like, I'm in a play right now.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Like, I'm in a dance performance right now.
Right.
I have a life. And it was like not. And Sarah looks at me and she goes, don't you know what this means? And I was like, I don't.
Right.
And then it was the conversation with my parents. No, we don't want you to go. You have a nice life here.
Right.
It wasn't like, woohoo, selling out. Got my kid, narcissism 101. Woo.
Right.
It was like, shit. Our whole life is going to turn upside down.
Yeah.
And my parents had careers, and my brother was in school.
What did your parents do?
My mom worked at the high school as an English teacher, and my dad worked for the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency.
You
read that?
EPA,
You're so up on Steve.
Yeah, Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was Steve?
With a PH. All right, go ahead.
With a PH, but not a PhD.
Hey! Emily here all week. All right, so did the whole...
But a master's.
Oh. Did the whole family move?
So we didn't really know,
right, because you had to do the pilot and then see if it was going to get
This
picked
is
up.
my life thing. Anyone who's like, 10 years from now I'm going to, and I'm just like, no, you're not. I mean, it's, life goals.
Right.
But no.
Right.
You don't know. So I didn't know. Who knows? I mean, look, we did the pilot like 4 times.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
You shot a
'Cause it
full
wasn't-
pilot 4 times.
I think it was I think it was 3 times, but different locations.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, no.
What?
Did they
We moved studios.
wait? So in a span of how long did you do that? Like they would do the first pilot and they would say, no, wrong.
Right.
And would they give it to the network or the studio or anything? Or they would say, no, we have to redo it.
I think it was, I'm not sure because I was very young and I wasn't.
How old were you, by the way?
I was 12, I
Right.
think, when I got the role, and 13 when we started shooting.
Ugh, the worst years. Go.
Yeah. And so, yeah. And so we were moving around. I was like, playing hoops with George Clooney. Like,
Right.
again, not really taking it all in
Right.
and going like, I don't know what this show is. It seems funny to me. There's a little buzz around it.
Right.
She apparently isn't happy with anything
Right.
that's going on because it's because her name's on it.
Right.
Okay. So,
And she's a woman, so she's difficult.
Right.
For wanting it the way for wanting it her way and authentic and great. So she's difficult.
And a bitch.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
She was, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And meanwhile, the ass kissing was already begun.
Right.
With all the people, because in TV, there's only a number 1 spot.
Right.
And it's usually a dude in that number 1
Right.
spot. So there was a denial that there was a number 1 spot that a vagina had.
Right.
And so they just, it was very Elizabethan. You got your people surrounding her going, oh, yeah.
Right,
and then
right.
turning their back with the knife and
Right.
going, how are we going to stab her?
Right.
And take her down. And
What about
and,
John Goodman? He was just.
I
remember he just was there, and then he'd go in his dressing room, and then he was there. It was like no.
Well, the thing is that's how I was on the
Right.
show.
Yes, I remember that.
I
too.
just was there and did my job.
Right.
I come from Midwestern stock.
Right.
I had factory workers in my family.
Right.
There's not a lot of glitz when it comes to
Right.
having a job.
Right.
So it's I did my job and then I left. And John had that vibe. And so I
Right.
really felt akin to him.
Right.
I was totally daddy's girl on
Right.
that show.
Right.
And I think on and off. And he, in his own way, was incredible. I think he saw himself in me too.
Right.
And, would say, you're a good actor. I
Right.
love working with you. I love
Right.
our scenes. And to me, that was and I mean, first of all, I grew up in Chicago where Laurie Metcalf was a goddess
Right,
on
right.
stage, which hasn't changed.
Right.
But it was my parents were wait, they did Roseanne, John Goodman,
Right.
but it was you are working with Laurie
Right.
Metcalf.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of always, when you have a
Right.
crush on someone and you
Yeah.
always do the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
And you just make it happen.
Right.
So when I was around her, I was and then I was that was the dumbest thing I've
Right,
ever
right,
said in
right.
my life. And
All right,
meanwhile,
so-
she probably couldn't have cared less.
She probably thought you were so cute.
Wait. So all right. So you do the pilot 3 times. Then when does it sink in that you have to be in LA for a certain amount of weeks? How did that?
Well, then there was this build, and then after the 3rd pilot, Roseanne fired the head writer. Mm-hmm. And it was Daddy and Mommy are fighting upstairs. This doesn't look good, whatever.
Wait,
but
who
at
was
that
do you know who
point,
the head writer was?
Matt Williams.
That's right. Okay.
And so
I wasn't testing you. I was oh yeah. That was not oh, that's right. You're on a trivia show. That was oh, right to me. All right, go.
right.
You
So
You've got your Roseanne trivia
Yeah.
down.
yeah, God, I got to be on my toes on this
Yeah.
show. So then he left, and then we got picked up, but it was this big this is going to be one of the big ones.
Right.
There was this buzz
Well,
build.
because she had just done that HBO special, Roseanne. I mean, I remember this because I was just starting my stand-up career, and I remember it was this is the new face of TV. It's going to be a real sitcom about a real family, not that So
yeah,
it was
the
huge.
first and last time
Right.
that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
which they just had an article about that in the New York Times a couple weeks ago. But and then so we got 12 episodes picked up, and that's when I realized that I was going to be packing up for a while.
But did you just come with your mom, or the whole family came?
I was with my mom for I think maybe half a year, and then we realized that this was going to be a thing. And so my dad, but we always, after the shoot was over, we always went back.
Right.
So it's not like we were like, we're full time out here.
Right.
We were like, we're just here at the Chokewood Apartments.
Right. Oh, they are the
Yeah.
worst. And they smell. You
Chokewood.
lived at the Oakwood? Oh, my
You
God.
love it. You loved it there. You want to go back there now
please.
and swim in that
With
little
that
pool.
rented
I
furniture?
stayed there for a week too.
Okay,
It was
so
the worst.
you're at the
It's like the land of lost actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So, and then you go back. So, what happened to your friends at school? And you're on this hit show. You're in Evanston, Illinois. You come back. Was it weird?
I come back. I get tripped in the hallway,
No way.
teased. Like,
Just unbelievable. The
but that's how.
jealousy.
No.
Yeah.
No, that was what I was used to.
Right.
Is being messed with
Right.
people. They treated me exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Were you happy about that?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, good.
I was relieved.
Right. Of course.
I was relieved. My mom just said that she ran into my gym teacher in Evanston.
Was it a woman?
Yeah.
And was she with her partner / girlfriend?
Yeah, I said my mom.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. So she was like, Lecy was in my archery class.
Lecy?
Yeah, she,
Right.
fucked it up. And she was like, one time someone in our class said, do you know who that is? And the guy said, no, I have no idea, which is probably not accurate. But
Right.
she said, Lecy must have felt so weird about that. And my mom was like, she was totally relieved about that.
Right.
Because I just wanted to be myself,
Right.
damn it. And I just did not at the time. Someone just on Facebook said, there was he got my ticket to the Golden Globes.
Right.
I don't even remember being invited, but he's like, why didn't you go? I'm like, because that wasn't really punk rock at the time.
Right.
I already would try to go to hardcore shows in
Right.
Chicago when I came home.
Right.
And they'd be like, you're corporate. And I'm like, I have a job, dude.
Yeah, fuck you.
What are you doing? You're
Right.
on your mom's couch playing
Right.
Atari or something. Maybe it was
assholes.
more like Nintendo at the time.
So you're on
Duck
the
hunt.
show. You have these two lives.
Double life.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the rumor of the producer
Yeah.
sexually harassing you.
Oh, right. Well, as I could call it, a relationship. But
Really?
yeah. Oh, but I got sexually harassed in other ways too.
Oh yeah.
Don't
Oh,
get it
right.
twisted. A lot of people did, except
Well,
for.
because it's like summer camp. I mean, it's like you live with
with
each other.
adults.
But it's
Yeah.
also like I would go back to high school and say how sophisticated everyone is.
Really?
Yeah. Because it was so, look, people were having fun, but it was also like I had different expectations for adults at the time.
Right.
The way I was raised.
Right.
There was something called an adult.
Right.
That kind of protected children
Right.
and didn't say inappropriate
Right.
things. It's one thing to swear and be real.
Right.
But it's another thing to
Do
be
lines.
creepy and
Right.
have somebody rub their thing against your knee or something
Right.
like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Or for example, there was a director who I'm not going to name, but who just
John
wanted,
Doe.
Do it.
John Doe.
Do it.
who just wanted this extra to keep removing her shirt and
Right.
putting on other, and as an angry young person
Right.
who happened to be
Because
female.
you lost your innocence. You're like,
Yes.
you were innocent. Everything was fine. But since you're so smart, you're like, no, this is inappropriate for me. This is not.
Which is
what-
why I
right.
just did my own thing.
Right.
But when I came back, I never, ever, ever talked about the show. And not because I didn't trust people, because people, I can't stress
Right.
enough, treated me like me.
Right.
I just didn't want them to know about the world that
Right.
the darkness
Right.
that I felt inside about. I wanted to protect them.
Right.
Which is such a weird thing.
No, I
but
think that's normal. Like you enjoy. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like when you meet your hero. It's like you just adore someone. They're your idol. You don't want to meet them because you don't want them to do something where you go, ew, you know?
Right, which they always do.
Right.
Well, not Lori, but
I don't feel that way about you, boss.
Shut up. So it was a relationship. It was a consensual.
yeah. I mean, looking back, I mean,
Well, now that you're an adult,
the thing is I was extremely vulnerable out there,
course.
and what I didn't have out there was a life.
right.
I was working all the time, and if you're in television, you know that you get scripts at any hour.
Oh, right.
You know, and when you're young, you're in school as well.
Right.
You're on, which is dreaded, like basically
tutor.
hell on earth.
Yeah.
Studio school, and so you just don't have time to do things that people do, and that's why. You know, I think that I was kind of out of touch with my generation, like who I was at the time,
Right.
my age. But this writer, you know, kind of groomed me, and we had a relationship, and which was strange that no one really said it was inappropriate
Right.
when it
Did your
was.
mom know?
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were just like,
Is
We
this
don't-
writer now a writer still?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, good.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
So you decide. First of all, you went to Vassar, which is an amazing. Wait,
I
you were
just-
going to say something.
No.
Also, how do you explain to your friends back home any of that stuff?
Okay,
You don't.
she just processed an entire thing that we're not going to hear. Okay, so
Well, what I was going to say was it didn't help that Tom Arnold,
Right.
totally messed with everything.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And, he was the one that called it out and sick the paparazzi on
Right.
us, which is how,
Right. Asshole.
yeah.
It's so bizarre.
He's really successful, by the way, and very well respected.
Nah.
He is? Oh, our next guest is here, Rich Voss, but we're not talking to him. Do you know Lecy Goranson?
He was on Roseanne.
Maybe. All right, so you decide you're going to quit.
And in a lot of theater, by the way.
Yeah. And you decide you're going to quit, that you want to go to college, and
Right.
you want normalcy.
Right.
And you get into Vassar because that's a great fucking school.
Right.
How was your time at Vassar?
Well, I majored in pool and bong smoking my freshman year.
Oh my God. That's so weird.
yeah.
I did Pac-Man and bong smoking.
Oh, okay.
And Ms. Pac-Man. So I had a
Cool.
double major. Ms. Pac-Man.
I had a minor in tree climbing on acid too. So
Oh.
Yeah.
I couldn't pass that class.
That's
I
a
couldn't-
class I take now. Every
yeah,
Really?
I retake
I
it.
failed. I just said, and it was a requirement.
it was.
Which was
Well, yeah, it was. Better to get that out of your system first,
Right.
which is what I did in spades, which meant that I failed acting and dance, which were my actual classes,
Right.
but passed problems of philosophy,
Right.
religious dimension,
Right.
Chaucer to Pope. But I failed acting and dance, and so I got kicked out. And I got asked. I got a personal leave, which means get your shit together.
Right.
And so I went back to LA, and I had no institution, no family,
Right.
no Roseanne, no Vassar.
Right.
It was just me. And it was
And you were
really
18?
intense. Yeah.
Wow, that's young.
And I was like, who am I? I was
Right.
up in the hills,
Right.
Hollywood Hills, just going, who the fuck am I?
right.
And then I was like, you know what? The problem was I had this expectation of being the screwed up actor, the Hollywood person. Again, it's like, I don't want to convince people that I'm not like that.
Right.
That's through my actions.
Right.
You know what I mean? But people think what they think. And so I had to come back. I decided to go back and just be like, you know what? Watch out, because I'm coming back and I'm going to be myself. And I don't care what you think about that.
Right.
I don't care if you think it's entitled or
Right.
not. or
Right.
soft or whatever. Like, I'm doing it. And it was like a real turning point in my life. Because you can either take all those projections all the time,
Right.
or you can just be
control it.
you.
Yeah. So you went back and did they replace you with who? I don't know.
Sarah Chalk.
Okay. And was she like, fuck? Wait, I'll do Sarah. Let's do them telling Sarah you're coming back. Let's do a scene. Rich, you can be the executive saying that Lecy's decided to come back, so we're not going to need you anymore. Can you get near a mic? This is Rich Voss, ladies and gentlemen, playing the studio executive. And
Wait, who am I telling what?
you're going to tell
Tell Sarah she's...
yeah, Sarah, Lecy's coming back. You're no longer replacing Lecy as on the show. So, do you want to be Sarah, Lecy?
Sure.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm Canadian.
All right, here's
Okay. So wait. So the head of ABC right here, Richard Voss.
Oh, hi, Rich.
Hi.
Sarah, go ahead.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm really happy on the show. I mean, I know there's rumors going around, but I'm really, really happy with my job.
Well, and you do really good. You're great. We all love you here.
Right.
Really?
We
Are you
do.
sure?
I'm telling you,
Because-
we really love you here.
Right.
And it's so sad that I have to tell you,
Wrap it up, Mr. Voss.
get your stuff off the lot and don't,
What?
nothing personal.
You mean I have a 5?
Listen, we need you to clean out your dressing room.
Yes, bye. Check the brake lights.
You know,
Why don't you tell Sarah why?
The original cast member that we originally casted that we love a little bit more than you is coming back. It's nothing, I mean, I'm sure you'll succeed in whatever else you're going to do. It's just not going to be here.
Is that okay, Sarah?
I have to tell you, Mr. Voss, that you're the first person that's ever actually said my name is Sarah and not just called me Becky too. So for that, I am really, really grateful. And I knew this was coming all along because I was treated
Calm down,
really,
Becky.
really bad. And I had to wear the booty shorts that Lecy wouldn't wear. So maybe just...
Security! All right, thank you. You did very well.
Booty shorts did.
Sorry, Sarah. I tried to give you a little justice, but
Yeah.
That was
So you go back. How many more seasons were there?
well, I took a couple years off, and then they offered me a lot of money. My roommate at the time was flipping burgers on the Cape, so
Where?
I thought not in Wellfleet. I forgot.
Because I have a house in Provincetown.
Oh, nice, lucky you.
Oh, I bought it in 1994.
I love Provincetown.
Shut up.
I've
Boss.
never been there.
Go.
But so then I came back over the summer, and I was like, but really, I know this is not going to sound legit, but I did not go back just for the money. I went back to try to get some kind of resolve.
Yes. Sure.
And just check
Right.
it out. Did I, I missed some people. I felt like,
Right.
I felt
It
like
was
I
home.
left. I was the kid that left home and that people were upset
Right.
and mad and whatever. And I was like, let's work this out. So
Yeah.
I get back and everything that I had left had gotten way worse. And it was just real tense. And Roseanne was pissed off at me. She was pissed off at everything, but she would it was just like this tension that was so intense. And let's say I'd be in a scene with Glenn Quinn, rest his soul, and we'd be working and she'd be like, oh, let me talk about something over here. What's craft services? And I was like, we're in a scene, not to get too Brando on you, but we kind of want the show to be good. You know what I mean? And so then it came, because they were like, oh yeah, Lecy, we got your school schedule. Because meanwhile, I was trying to graduate from college with being kicked out for a year.
Right.
So it was like double work, double this.
Yeah.
I'm in the play, I'm in this film,
Right.
I'm producing my own performance art
Right.
piece about women and
What film?
language deconstruction.
Right.
And so I'm trying to do all of this. And then, it comes to spring break and I'm supposed to go back to work. And they're like, oh no, we have Sarah Chalk coming in again. And I was like, well, you have my schedule. And they're like, no, but are you free next weekend and just drop everything and come to Disney World? And I was like, because Disney had acquired ABC at the time. And I was like, you know what? My time is valuable. Mm-hmm. It's contracted. I gave you my schedule.
Right.
And you don't respect me. And so I'm going to walk again. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Like.
Right.
They were having a standoff with you.
Yeah. And then my agents at the time said that Disney was going to sue me. And I was like, yeah, Disney's going to sue a college student for wanting to graduate.
Right.
That's going to work, right? And I was like, agent, you're fired.
Right.
Wow, you're tough.
Hey,
see, Rich,
you know what?
Yes.
Can I get some backstory real quick? It's none of my business. Can I just this?
You'll have to listen to the rest of the episode, Rich.
All right, go.
I don't even listen to my own podcast.
Yeah, well, I
real
don't.
Quick.
I wouldn't either.
I know, real quick. So you leave the show, and they have somebody fill in for you to play your character?
Correct. Yes.
So, and then you could come back. Like, how does the audience not know that you're coming back, leaving, and how is this going with the audience going? I mean, was this character...
Well, Bewitched, they did that.
I know, but was this character completely like a twin of yours, or were you like in college on the show and you left?
I mean, my take on it, I understand that they wanted to continue the character.
Right.
But I also felt like
Thank you, Mr. Boss.
Vindictive almost. Like it was personal towards me.
It was definitely not your character.
Yeah,
it wasn't the same.
I mean, she was still Becky.
Yeah, but she was called Becky. But
no, right, she was called Becky as if they acted like it was the same. But they made little jokes.
They did. They winked at it.
Right,
a lot.
but there was a lot of more like first of all, I haven't watched anything with the show,
and you never watched the finale.
Never have watched the finale.
I don't blame you for that.
And when people told me, like, I still don't exactly know what happened, but I guess John Goodman dies or something.
I didn't even know that. I knew he had a heart attack.
Or it was all a dream or something. But it was getting really meta. Mm-hmm. And when I was on, it was like kind of hyper realism, but funny. I mean, in a sitcom.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I kind of dug that about it.
Right.
Because I thought that, when it kind of... I hate to say jump the shark because that's so cliche, but
it's true.
It just turned into a different beast and became more meta.
Right.
And I was kind of like, not my artistic choice. But I then again, to be fair, have not watched it. And it wasn't because of like, ooh, Sarah's on it. I just was doing other stuff.
So now,
also, it's like your kid and that you've had to step away from. It's hard to, I mean, Jesus, that must have been hard. If you're replaced in a show, do you want to go and watch a show, Judy? Have you ever been replaced in a show?
No one would replace Judy.
Theater. Like in theater.
I
you know
did
how
Disaster. They hired someone else. No, I didn't go see it.
Exactly.
Yes, Richard?
She auditioned for that part for Game of Thrones to play the one knight. That was guarding the...
Shut the fuck up.
I have never seen
I didn't even get a laugh because it was so stupid.
Never seen an episode of Game of Thrones in my life.
It.
Her name's like Brinna or something, but
Is she a goddess? Because you're a goddess,
I
Judy.
just kind of check out when I'm watching that and I'm not like taking notes.
Now, you now live in New York.
Yep. Jersey, holla.
You do? Where?
Hoboken.
I'm from Jersey, and Rich is from Jersey. Yeah!
I love Jersey strong. Loving Jersey.
Loving.
Listen,
I hate
Brooklyn.
Fat-ass Christie piece of shit, though.
Oh, my God. That guy.
He's
Please.
disgusting.
And he's just getting worse.
I know.
God, grow a sack, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like Trump's little bitch.
I know. Now, wait, what? Rich, you were going to say something?
No, go ahead, finish.
All right, shut up.
Stop talking to Rich.
You can talk.
No, he can't. He can't. He doesn't have a mic. No one can hear him.
What about that fucking mic right now?
It doesn't work.
I don't her podcast, but I don't care about you. I like her.
She's great. All right, so
shucks.
you're a very outspoken feminist.
Indeed.
And you're very outspoken about trans rights.
Absolutely.
Which I do not favor.
Right.
I think that trans people should
jump
have
off
their own they should have their own. They should have to pee and shit.
In a
like
red tent.
when they have to pee and shit, they just pee and shit. You know what I mean? They just take their pants down and pee and shit wherever they are.
Are you suggesting like kind of like a leper's island or something?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That would be
Then I
so
have to get
fun.
a new co-host here.
Well, what's funny is I was at my 10th, 20th college reunion.
Congrats.
And the thing is,
Mazel tov and Simon tov and Simon tov and Mazel tov and Mazel tov. Go ahead.
and Vassar always had gender neutral bathrooms, always. Yeah. But now there's signs up.
Right. I'm doing Shakespeare in the Park. They have them at the public theater, too.
But I'm like, we always knew that they were, it's kind of that one thing that's like, okay, so I guess now we got to just, and then one bathroom had 3 signs on it.
Right.
In case, like.
What happened? What if you're handicapped and transgender?
Oh, then you're just
What
fucked.
fucking bathroom are you going to use?
You cancel yourself out.
It's kind of funny looking at the logos they're making for, I mean, I like what was it, the AMC Theater? They actually have a woman in pants.
That's great.
Without the skirt. Like curvaceous. It's about time, I'm
down.
So what do you do? You've done some films. What do you?
Boys Don't Cry.
Right, Boys Don't Cry.
Speaking
also trans
of just,
related,
that trans topic,
which you were wonderful in.
Yes.
Thank you.
What we this is Rich. Stop looking at your fucking watch.
Stop looking at Rich, Judy.
What pisses you? This is we talk about this, but what pisses you off the most?
Right now, America is pissing me off the most. I am so angry about what happened on Sunday. I am so full of
the
rage.
Orlando shooting,
The Orlando shooting. I'm disgusted living here. I'm tired of it. And I am full of emotion. I was walking through the West Village and what you call it, Hell's Kitchen, and I'm just like, what is going on in this country? I'm so tired of people saying like, this is the best country in the world. We're the best,
Well, we have to make America great again.
You're right.
It's
he has a point, but I don't know if there was an again.
But make America. What is he talking about?
Hamilton.
We would all have.
He's talking
to
about
leave
Hamilton.
Okay,
America.
Voss is a big Republican. So,
I'm not.
all right, good.
Why do you keep calling me Republican?
I don't know. You hang around with those fucking
because you're wearing that
Republicans.
Chris Christie shirt.
Stop flirting with each other.
I'm not. I'm very moderate. It's unbelievable.
You have Chris Christie's penis on your shirt.
Yes, I do.
And we can't see it. That's
That picture with Trump, where he looks like a Saint Bernard with Bell's palsy.
Saint Bernard with Bell's palsy. But yeah, so you're angry at America.
I'm very angry.
It's really sad. It's sad, and it's infuriating, and I'm so sick of people saying, it's a radical Islam. It's this. It's no one needs an assault weapon. No one, if he had a fucking pistol, I can't.
You know what I'm so tired of? The word terrorism.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, you know what it means anyway? It's just like, terrorism. You know what? It's more complicated than that. That implies whatever.
That's a word to whitewash.
I feel like it's an excuse.
Right.
I feel like it's become an excuse, and it's like diagnosing someone without saying mental health issues in this country, without saying gun control. It's like, nope, terrorism.
Or thug.
That's not enough for me,
Right.
terrorism.
The guy was meant to. All right, Rich, you got to go near a mic.
Yeah.
Oh, you were just ruining this.
No, I'm really.
I'm still angry.
Well,
It pisses me off. Go.
Yeah, listen, I am so against automatic weapons. And, and I don't know if this, I'm not even reading about this because it upsets me too much to to even follow it and read the story. But terrorism, not maybe in this country, but throughout the world, is going on. I mean, when you see trains blowing up in Italy and subways in England and stuff.
It's been going on since the beginning of time.
When you see crosses burning on a yard in the South, it's still going on. There's just as many Christian terrorists.
There has been. Everyone's like, oh, it's...
Chris Christie is a terrorist.
Right. VP!
Yes, Mrs.
That's voice probation. VP, voice probation.
I like that.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, she has a great point.
You have to call him he.
Okay.
Trans.
He, and I like his hair, has
Thank
a
you.
good point.
But it's
Thank you, Rich.
We're not going to
the fact that the gun sales have
gone
spiked spiked since this happened. Makes me so
Right.
You know what I hate the most in this country, in this US of A? Fear.
Right.
Fear.
Right.
Guess what?
Yeah.
All you people that are so afraid,
Right.
deal with it.
Right.
A gun's not going to conquer your fear.
Right.
Deal with your fear. You know?
Of anyone who's not like you or doesn't believe in the book that you believe in. You know, we're becoming religious zealots just like them. And these fucking politicians and their rhetoric against LGBTQRS. Shut the fuck up! All right, anyway.
Fear is, you know what fear is?
What?
False evidence appearing real.
Oh, someone's been to a 12-step group.
12 steps. It's time for 12 steps.
No, I love the acronyms.
12 steps with Richard Voss.
I love the 12-step group acronyms.
Yeah.
But that it's so true, though. It's false evidence appearing real. Fear. And this is a guy who has 30 years sober, so. Right. But
that's still no excuse.
Congrats. Keep coming back, Rich. Actually, don't.
Now, what we ask everyone if they are on any antidepressants. Are you?
I wish. Do you have any?
Yeah, I'm on a bunch.
I've got a Zoloft.
Sweet. Yeah.
Now, have you ever been on them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, that's.
You just reminded me to take
but
mine.
you're not on
Everyone's
them right
taking
now.
their pill.
I'm not on them right now, but I have been on them. And those times, I'm a believer. I feel like for
When I saw her
short term,
face,
you know, they were here recently.
I know.
And a lot of people went and had fun and met
I know.
Mickey.
I had dinner with him.
That's cool.
No, you
were.
didn't.
Yes, I did.
You dropped something.
Yeah, you
His
did.
name.
Yeah, you did.
Because he's friends with Wendy Liebman's husband, and we all went out to dinner. All
Oh,
right,
yeah,
go ahead.
Wendy Liebman, sure.
Yeah.
Love her.
I love her.
Amazing.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, she's a comic. You would love her. All right,
By the
go.
way, I'm still like Encino man when it comes to most things.
Right.
Like locked
Wait,
in my cave.
So
in
you've
Hoboken.
been on. What have you been on?
With a Slurpee.
What have I been on?
Anti.
Oh, okay. Celexa.
Yeah.
And I did a really bad stint with Depakote.
Oh, that's deep.
It was real.
That's Depakote.
Oh,
yeah.
it was bad. It
Yeah.
was. I put the depth in Depakote.
Yeah.
It was really bad. And then I'm trying to think. I mean, that's pretty much it. Some beta blockers here or
Right.
there.
Inderall.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great. That's great.
And what about you?
Oh, please. I've tried everything.
Wait,
Right now,
is-
I'm on Wellbutrin, Paxil.
Oh, I did a stint with Paxil.
I take Ritalin, and
Oh.
I take Trazodone to sleep.
So do you feel? Are you worried about like the togetherness of it, or are you good? Like you got a good person?
I had a very bad clinical depression breakdown, and my fear without what is it? Fear.
It's fuck everything and run.
Fuck. All right. That is, I just don't want that to happen again.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So I don't. I want to be regulated, and I don't want to have the panic and
regular.
Yes. So I do have a shake, and I am regular. I have a nice Organifi, they were our sponsor. They're not anymore. And I am regular. I do a nice poop in the morning.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering, is there some kind of medicine that could get me a ticket to see Taming of the Shrew?
I think so.
Because you know who I love, who
Who?
I did my first play with in the city,
Kush.
Candy B.
I love Candy. She sits next to me.
No, I love Candy so
dressing
much. I
room.
love Candy. Candy is my favorite person.
Yes.
And you know what about Candy? She's gorgeous.
She's
hot.
gorgeous.
Oh my God.
She's gorgeous. She's full of life. She's full of realness. She is
my
fierce.
jokes. I love her.
I don't believe that.
Go fuck yourself. All right.
I
Yes,
did.
we will discuss
I
that.
have a crush on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her.
She's so.
So we have to go because we have
Okay,
annoying
yeah.
Rich Voss. But will you come back? Because we have a lot more to discuss. Or,
Well, I mean, Hen needs a reason to email me more often. So
That's true.
there's that.
That's true.
So yeah, of
I'm
course.
thinking of reasons
yeah,
already.
We need,
I'm like,
we
ooh,
need.
how can I email you?
We need more of Lecy.
I love being in Midtown.
You do?
No,
I
of
hate it.
course
Sucks.
not.
Shut up. You could have come to my apartment.
Oh,
We had to do
really?
it here because of Richard Voss.
No, because you had to screen me to see if I was like a klepto or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right.
Hey,
By the
aren't
way,
you still
I want
missing
to say thank
a few
you
things?
so much. We should take questions from the 4 listeners we have.
Yeah, once we get if we get a regular schedule going, we could just Periscope this and put it up on Facebook as it's happening and take questions.
Right, and my hair looks good. Thank you so much.
Thank
Rich, do you have anything more you want to ask?
Lecy.
Yeah, well, no. Maybe I'll try to get her on our radio show.
Oh,
we have a real show on Sirius.
Shut up!
Rich was just saying that he has a real show
You'd
on
be great on.
Sirius.
I go on that show. I call in. That's how fucking desperado I am.
Well, then you know the technology.
Yeah.
Can help you with that.
That's
Lecy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you'll come back?
Definitely.
Wait, I'm joking. Will you come back?
We only got to like half my life.
I know.
There's a lot that's gone on
I
since
know.
then.
You play the mandolin.
So we're
and the
gonna start with
Bluegrass.
your 20s when we come back.
Great.
right.
Chapter 2
Chapter
or whatever.
2.
Part 2
This
for
is
real.
chapter 1. And thank you so much.
All right.
And if you need a bra.
Oh! I would just
What?
like to point out that Lecy has a show coming up that you want to look for. Called
Yeah, it's called Who Mourns for Bob the Goon. It's going to be at Here Art Center.
Oh, I love here.
And it's going to be, I love here and there. But I love here better.
Who Mourns for Bob the Goon? I saw a workshop of it, a reading.
It's really
It was
good. It's going to be running from the middle of July through the middle of August, but you
Okay.
can see on the Here Art Center website.
Okay,
Awesome.
thank
And
you.
congrats on your opening night last night,
Yes.
Judy.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
hell yeah.
Thank you
Candy.
all right, thank you, and so long!
And everything was wonderful. I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.